What's going on, everybody? KD for the Wealth Wells. Today is 4/9/2023. I hope everyone had a good weekend. This is our weekly market prep and a little bit of training that we'll do here with Q&A at the end. If the questions come, then I'll train on them. So let's get right to it. Inside of the Discord here in our general channel, I did post our market moving events there. And let's go over them. So Monday on the 10th, tomorrow, we just have some inventory, some preliminary news coming out for our wholesale inventories. Not a lot of data there that's going to rock anything. And then we've got NFIB Small Business Index coming out on Tuesday. All right. The big day for the week will, of course, be Wednesday, CPI, top of the day. Then 2 o'clock FOMC meeting minutes. And then Thursday, we've got jobless claim PPI final coming out as well. And after that, we're pretty much smooth sailing. I mean, we've got the typical bill announcements coming out there, but for the most part, that CPI on Thursday, PPI final demand on, CPI on Wednesday, PPI on Thursday. Let's take a look at Friday. And then retail sales, some import and export prices, industrial numbers are coming out Friday as well, around that 9:15 timeframe. Here is our earnings report. Banking to the backside, I do expect some nice volatility here with Citi, Wells Fargo, PNC, et cetera, BlackRock, et cetera, to the backside of the day, kicking in. But for the most part, we are at the mercy of CPI on Wednesday. All right. So that's some market moving events that we're going to be looking forward to. I'll tell you right now, Monday and Tuesday of the week, we look to likely get some volatility in the market and move back towards some key levels. Now, we'll wait to how the market settles. I'll share this with you in a minute from what I'm seeing here, but we'll wait to how the market's going to settle. But this is some key inflation data that's coming there in the week. So we'll wait for that. Now, as you can see, let's get right to the levels here. Now, these levels were posted last week. If you have been watching my weekly preps, we've been on point with these aren't predictions. This is just straight up reading the market and reacting to what we see, but we've been able to predict and develop some if-then statements. So today is nonetheless, all right? So 4131 is the number here on the futures that I'm looking for to hold in this area to the downside, 4116, and then to the upside, we're going to be 4150, 4156, and that's where I'm looking there. You can clearly see we chipped around there all Thursday there, right? Friday, and here we go. Today, we're kind of just holding in these areas, and then obviously, once foreign markets begin to move, then we are going to see how we react to these areas and if the market holds or not, right? Based on sentiment there. Now, one thing we will keep an eye on this week is bonds. We are going to keep an eye on bonds overall when the markets are kind of wound up tight like this. Pay attention to the bond market for sure. Every morning I discuss the bond market with and give the numbers for the bond market and some other key numbers, but I give the numbers to the bond market for our channel here so that you guys can understand that this is a very heavy news and bond driven market. So when we keep our finger on the pulse of the bonds, this can give us where risk is being applied and put off there. You can do yourself a favor, come into the Discord and you will click the video channel here. You can watch this video, use bonds to get an understanding of why I keep track of the bonds so tightly. It's not just myself. Other traders will look for that. Wall Street will be looking at the bond market. It'll give us a good indication of the risk that's out there for a recession or not. All right. So let's take a look at a high level here. And how about we do this? Let's take a look at a high level. And let's try to get an understanding of where we are as far as structure in the market. And then you'll understand a little bit today about volume and why it's so tight. Now, I put some videos out there recently. If you're watching this video, there are 2 videos that I have released. And then there are some of my own private setups that I have coming out for digital training that's coming that will be made available to those inside of the Discord. All right. So the first video that we're going to talk about here, that as we train here on what our key levels are, as we look at the S&P on the daily, is A+ setups. So, do yourself a favor. I'll put the link in the bottom of the video here as well. These are 5 things that I look for, that I have to have before I get a setup on any time frame. That's number 1. And then I want you to watch the 3 best trading setups. So the 5 items, so somewhat of a checklist, is what I'm looking for. And then the 3, these 3 items here, these 3 things here are the actual setups. I need both. So I'm looking for these 5. And then as I trade, these 3 manifest themselves. So we're going to do that now so you can understand what I'm saying here. All right. So obviously, let's see if we got some levels up here or not. All right, we got a little bit there. All right, we'll leave it here then. All right. So obviously, it's no secret. These levels have been there for a while here, and you'll see me now kind of get an idea of market structure. So I use a system called VVP. So that's what we're going to do now. You could, for pattern traders, you'd probably put a trend line here, right? You put another trend line there, but that's not necessarily what I do. And I'm not a technical trader. I'm not a fundamental trader. I'm a hybrid. I use them both. So the idea here now, even before you saw this on the daily at a higher time frame, that I was watching 4131, right? Here's where the market is. Now look at where we have this presence of volume right here. And so you can clearly see, even if you don't understand which way we're going to go, you can clearly see that the market's presence and participation is right here at this level. And if we begin to break down at any aggressive nature, we are for sure going to come down to this 4116 area. Now, as I continue to develop my thesis for the week, I can clearly see that volume is supporting my thesis. It's supporting my decision here and what I'm reading. And so as I go down in the lower time frame, then I would simply break down the levels and the volume even more so. So as I go to the higher time frame here, this is confirming, based on the data that I just shared with you, that these are my markers, right? You can clearly see even some of our highs in the previous days are respecting these levels and holding. Now, we breach them a little bit, but for the most part, the body of the candles, the open and the close, they're holding, right? So now that tells me that these are still my targets and my zones and my areas where I'm going to be looking for. Then as you go down to a lower time frame, you want to see the market hold. Now you can clearly see again, even if I go down to the 15-minute, how the volume still holds around my levels. Now I'm going to tell you this, if you go over to this video, the link will be in the description. The video is here. You need A+ setups in day trading and the 3 best setups in day trading. All of our videos and training are inside of our video library. And then we have some private training here inside of the Killer Wells, okay, where you can watch audios. I'm going to encourage you to go over here as well. But you're going to absolutely need key levels in order to trade effectively in the market. All right, you're going to need it, folks. So whether you take training from me, whether you go somewhere else, that's on you. The idea here is understand that you need to trade with specificity. You can't trade with generalities. You can't trade with a massive zone down here, right? Some traders, they do like this. They'll make a huge zone down here, right? And that zone will be nearly 100 points or, 20, 30 points in the futures or even larger. This doesn't help you because it doesn't allow you to trade anything up in here. And then it also reduces your trade count to the tune of when you do get it wrong, you need so many more trades to get it right and correct yourself. What you need is something that is more aligned with Wall Street so that you can understand exact targets. All right. So that's what I'm looking at. I expect volatility to kick in around CPI toward the backside of the week. So that's going to be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I've got some banking numbers to come out toward the backside of the week on Friday. So I'm going to be looking for that as well. And that's going to tell me a great deal, the strength and how the market is going to roll. I do expect I'll wake up I'll observe the overnight session. I do expect us to chip in this area, and I'd like to see a hold. If we don't hold, then certainly we're going to start to to tap our every areas we have here with a possible low 4,100 on ES there. All right. My levels will be posted as normal, top side of the day, inside of the Killer Wells channel, and I will be trading inside of the private channel tomorrow. Now, here's the thing about tomorrow. I'll tell you this, for those of you guys who are listening. I don't do it often, but I'll do it periodically. I'm going to trade live screen share tomorrow where you'll see my screen. It'll be a clean screen, either my training chart or a blank chart. And I'm going to show you how to crush this thing throughout the day. Obviously, it won't include the levels, but I'll mark it up as we go. Those inside the private channel, you'll have my levels. All right. So that's what I'm looking for. There are my levels. This is what we expect to see coming top side of the week. And those are the market data points that we're going to be looking for. So last week was an excellent week. We absolutely crushed it, right? Came out of the week very, very solid, right? I want to recap one thing with you if you stuck around this long here. Those inside the channel, I traded the backside of the day on Monday for those who asked me, because they were, they work nights or whatever the case, and they were missing some of the open because I'm live at 8:50. So I started at 10:30. And I got to be honest with you, for me, that doesn't work the best to start at that time frame, but I did anyway. Right out the gate on Monday, my first two trades, my first trade put me down 11K. So anyone in the Discord, you saw that. You saw me go down, you saw me hold that trade, and you saw me manage it. Then I went on a series of trades, ended the day there, about 13 trades to get me back profitable, and I ended up being 7K. Nothing major that day, but I did come out the day green. And these are my trades. All trades were live and called out. I was able to screenshot a few of them. I posted them inside of the futures channel here, and you can see, all of my breakdown of trades. And then for those in the SPY only, I was able to snapshot one or two trades there for you and grab just the profits as we incrementally won. But I want you to pay attention to something. All right, so you got a choice. Now we're gonna talk a little bit about this. Is the training portion. All right, I'm going to keep it real short. I'm going to keep it about 2 minutes. All right, let me tell you this, folks. It doesn't matter who you are, even some of the best traders, myself included. Everyone will take a red trade. Everyone will have a trade where it doesn't go in your favor. Anyone can make a trade or two and brag about their wins or be green. But how do you handle the red trades? How do you handle those trades where you need to come back? That's a very good indication of a good trader, or how successful a trader can be, and whether or not you have the mental maturity to trade. So this took me about 13 trades. 10 I had broken even, 3 more, and I ended up going 7K. Look at the profit from each trade. When you are down, the idea here is not to try to hit a home run. The idea is base hits so that you can chip away. And this doesn't even include options trades, right? So that you can chip away. So I was very satisfied with 1,200, 3K, 2K, 5, 6, 8, 12, 1,000, that kind of stuff in order to get back to where we need to be. So ended up being a very, very profitable week. Every other day, Monday, including every other day, was green, but every other day was smooth sailing. Monday, I did have to work for. Now, what helped me? There was something that I just want to highlight right here that helped me. All right. And I need to stress this for everyone. The thing that helped me manage and get back into the green, which is the DAC. The DAC stands for divide and conquer. If you want to learn about my trade management strategy and how I manage my trades, etc., inside of the frequently asked questions page right here, I explain to you the DAC. I explain to you everything about my overall setup. And then I have another frequently asked questions that's down here inside the Killer Wells for private questions. The DAC basically is an account management strategy where I break up my account and I use it to manage, just in case I have to take a loss or something like that. It doesn't put me down too much. So that is something that I want to share with you. These are my targets and levels for today. That's just a little bit of training that I want to encourage you guys. You saw me live, go down, take a loss, and go red on Monday. And you saw me come back and crush this thing And so doesn't happen often, but there we are. It did and came back and crushed it. So I'm looking forward to trading with you guys this week. That's our weekly prep. Those are our market moving events, and those are our levels. Let's take a look at SPY and get a little bit of a couple of targets there as well. See if we can't identify where we are as well. All right, so SPY, same targets here. Now I did a little bit of training, so these targets here are on the screen from the training there, but they still are going to hold true to to this week as well. So when we look at structure, right, we understand that SPY on Friday stopped around that 409.19 area, right? So to the upside, I'm looking for SPY. I'd like to see it hold this area, but to the downside at 406, I would say 406 right about here, 406.50 to 405.88, this area here, right? That would be an area of interest there for me. And then to the upside, right around this 411 to this 412 to 411.8 area. So here, all right, I'm watching for the market to kind of break out of this area here. Now, we don't get out of there. Once we break out of here, then we'll start to hit our levels and we'll map to those key areas there on the futures there. However, we need to allow foreign markets and the overnight session to define exactly what the market wants to do. Pay attention to bonds again, so that we can get an understanding of what the market is going to do and where it's going to go. And I'll shore up a little bit more of this in our pre-market tomorrow morning. All right. So you can put your questions inside of the SPY only options room. I will answer those there. I think PMAT is saying drawdown. Yes. So you've got our targets to the downside. You know what the drawdown is. I mean, even right now, right, we can clearly see the market is responding to these levels, right? And there's the volume there coming into play. So I think that we'll chip around here, what have you. And you know, we're back at it, right? Everyone had a somewhat of an extended weekend here with a minimal trading happening Friday. So yeah, it's going to be an awesome week this week. So any questions, I'll hang around for a little bit longer there and answer your questions for you. And then I'll make sure I get this posted a little bit later on YouTube. All right. Don't forget, there's a couple things that you need to do. We've got our Mindset Mondays cracking, right? And we posted in our channel here on the Spotify and on YouTube for our mental development. All right. And then don't forget to go down, click the link in our Discord or below the video. You can gain tier 3 access here. If you see value, stick around. We believe you will. Looking at the numbers, people are sticking around. They see some value here. And we're going to encourage you guys to come in there, go down the training stack to crush this thing. All right. I'll hold out for a little bit longer for any. All right. Nice job. I'll hold out for a little bit for any other questions. And then I'll wrap it up. It's been a nice weekend, hopefully for you as well. Now, I will tell you again, I've got some digital training for a few extra topics that I get questions on a lot. And these questions are coming up in our one-on-ones, and they're my setups. People want to understand my setups. What am I seeing? What's my checklist? Things like that. That won't be available to the general public. It will be available in some digital training, right? I'll make that available to you. And you'll still need to come down the training stack, I think, to about 4.5. After you take that, you can take a couple. So look for some extra squares to or links to appear down here. Or just 2 right now. The first is my setups when it comes to areas of interest, how that gives me a serious edge and my checklist with those 2. And then the other is going to be a part 2 of that for other special setups that I look for to crush this thing. And for those of you guys who saw me Monday, then you got a real treat. Right. You got to see me come back from being red and then continue to crush this thing. All right, folks, let me just check real quick. All right. Yeah, for sure. It's coming. It's coming. I agree with you, PMAT. Everyone will have a losing trade. Let's go here, PMAT, just so you guys know I'm not talking to myself. PMAT says everyone will have a losing trade. Just have to learn how to deal with the drawdown, when to hold, when to fold. Right. So I do have a metric of when I hold, when I fold as well. And as we go into the year, I'll be sharing a little bit more of that with you guys and giving you more of that, you know, and crushing this thing. So, all right, folks, give you about one more minute. And I think we kept this one within time here. And I'll crush it here. I'll close it out and we'll crush it. It's my pleasure. I'll record all this. Normally I don't record the Q&A, but we'll just wait. And I'll help you with it. Anyone that's new, like I said, so tomorrow, I'm pretty sure, 90% sure we'll do live. I don't do them all the time. It's just a lot to manage and it's distracting for just crying out loud. But I'm going to do it because some traders, I feel like there's a small disconnect when people go through the training and everything. I think there's a little bit of hand holding, and I'll give that to you. Maybe, I don't know, once a month. We'll see. We'll see. May do a little bit more, but it depends on how it goes. We'll see. Whether I win or lose, I'm gonna trade live. Yep, I saw that, Dame. I'll get into that in a minute. I'll help you out here. No problem. No problem. Okay. All right, folks. Well, listen, it's a pleasure. I'll see you bright and early right here in the SPY only options room right here. Right there in this room right here to crush this thing. We will be live at 8:50, live on Zoom for the general public. I don't do it often, but it depends on how it goes. I may start doing it once a week, once a month. I don't know. We'll see. And everyone else, I'll do the lives for the killer whales. No, we don't have a schedule for that. They're just going to be random. So stay plugged in and understand. Now, I will point you here, though. I'm telling you, these are gold. Now, you guys know I only post when you guys ask the questions or not. So, hey, look, you asked for it. I gave it to you. Make sure you review these. I'd watch it 3 and 4 times personally. We talked with some traders here who had their first green week ever. And then in here, we've got winning setups. This is gold. If you don't have these, you do not have an A+ setup, period. All right, guys. All right. It was a pleasure. I'll see you guys bright and early in the morning. Remember this, if you show up, you'll go up. Show up prepared and disciplined, and then watch your account status go up. KD for the Wealth Wells, signing out.